Hey church, today we're moving into the book of 1 Samuel. 1 Samuel chapter 1, we see the story, the desperate story of a woman named Hannah. You see, Hannah was one of two wives of a man named Elkanah. And the other wife, her name was Peninnah. Peninnah was able to have children and Hannah was not. And if you can imagine two wives, one husband, there was probably some bickering going on, some competition that was happening between the two women. And the Bible tells us that Peninnah uses the fact that Hannah cannot have children to get under Hannah's skin. She brings it up very often. As a matter of fact, the Bible calls Peninnah the rival, Hannah's rival. And she brings it up so often that it really brings Hannah to this place of anger to the point where she cannot even eat. And she's just fed up. She's done in. And Elkanah comes and he says what any husband would say, right? We think we're doing the right thing. And he says, listen, why are you so upset? Am I not enough, right? Am I not greater than 10 sons? Just the fact that you're with me. Well, guys, hello, newsflash. Like we wish we were everything to our wives, right? But he was not really looking at all the desires of Hannah's heart. Hannah desperately wanted to have a son. The Bible says once they're in the tabernacle and they get done eating and she stands up and she begins to bitterly cry out to the Lord. Kind of in a weird way. We see later in the chapter that actually words are not coming out of her mouth. Her lips are moving, but she is praying with her heart, the Bible says. And she's telling the Lord, if you'll just give me a son, I will in turn give him back to you. But I so desperately want to have a son. So much so, God, that a razor will never touch his head. Well, that's just a sign of, in that time, long hair usually was of a man who his work was dedicated to the Lord. And so she's just saying, God, I'm going to give him back to you. Well, she doesn't realize it, but the priest Eli is seeing this take place. He's seeing her lips moving. He's seeing how much anguish she's in. And it probably looked a little crazy. And he even declares her drunk. She needs to get out of here. This lady's drunk. She's acting crazy. And she says, no, I'm not drunk. I'm just crying out to the Lord desperately in anguish. And so Eli says, well, go and may God grant you the desires of your heart. Well, some short time later, she gets pregnant and she has a son named Samuel. And at the end of this chapter, we see that she does, in fact, bring him back to the tabernacle. And Eli is there. And I would imagine this meeting here for the second time has got to be kind of funny. He sees this woman who once he thought was crazy, and she's probably beaming with this huge smile and saying, look, I'm not crazy. This was my desire. I wanted to have a son. And look, I have a son, and now I am giving him back to the Lord. Well, there's two things I want you to see today in this chapter. Two takeaways really for us. One is never be afraid to be honest with the Lord. You see, Hannah had a bitter heart. Like she was not coming to the Lord with graceful words and a smile on her face. No, she was coming to the Lord exactly as she was. She was hurt. She was bitter. She just desperately wanted a son, and she told the Lord of that desire. And so I encourage you, come to the Lord just as you are today. Whatever is on your heart, bring it before him. And the second thing is this. What is it that God has given you that you need to in turn give back to the Lord? Because in fact, aren't all things from him anyway? They belong to him anyway. And so maybe God has gifted you in a certain way. And maybe you're not using that gift to glorify him. And you need to today say, God, I'm going to turn and give you this talent, this gift back to you. Or maybe it's just a situation in your life. Maybe it's a job. Maybe it's a family member. Maybe it's something you're just struggling with. You say, God, I need to just in turn give it back to you. Do what you want to with it. So as we conclude, I just encourage you to spend a little time with the Lord and just thank him for all he's done for you. Thank him for the gifts he's given you. And, figure out what it is today you need to give back and say, God, use this. You've given it to me, but it belongs to you. Use it. Have a great day.